So we are at the vet with Rosemary. Hey. So Rosemary had a baby like 2 weeks ago, and it's been a long road to today to get to the vet with her. I'm gonna insert a picture here of her cute little sweet baby she had, and we're gonna get this vet trip done, and then I'll explain all of what's going on with her. We're back home. Okay, we've got blood work sent off. It's not come back yet. They did a complete blood panel. Everything was fine with that. She really doesn't have a whole lot of infection, which is what we were really worried about. She did have some elevated protein markers from slight inflammation. I don't even know if you'd call it infection. She didn't smell or anything, but I'm going to write a few things down. They gave me a lot of information, get my thoughts together, and give you guys a complete rundown of what took place, because it might help you with your cow in the future. So it's early on Saturday morning before the market opens, and I'm in the milk barn, hence the noises of the milk room. But I want to take a few minutes this morning and tell you Rosemary's story. So let's back up to the beginning of the story. Last fall was when we decided to really start trying to milk and sell raw milk and all those things. We had done that years before, took a long break from milking. It just became too much trying to homeschool kids and just everything in our life. And we decided last fall to try to get a couple cows. And so hence we got Fancy and Rosemary. We went and bought them. That was the beginning of our A2 journey. We didn't even know it at the time. We did not buy her as an A2 cow. We just tested our whole herd after we bought them and found out the majority of them, all but maybe 2, were A2. There she goes. Aren't the colors in the sky beautiful this morning? So if you're not familiar, A2, that just means that's a protein in their milk. There's A1 and there's A2, and there's variants of each one. But basically it just means A2 is the most digestible form of milk for humans. It's the closest to human milk that there is, and people that struggle with dairy issues or just want to, give their body the things that they feel fits the most, are seeking A2. It's just the raw milk industry these days, and we knew that if we were going to be competitive and plus what we wanted for our own family, we needed to make some changes. So we quickly culled everyone in our herd that was not A2. You can have A1, some people have those, but we wanted strictly A2 across the board. We also closed the herd at that time and disease tested everyone for all the things that we could think of and had access to testing them for. So we felt very comfortable with our herd at that point. Now, let me just say, we also, last fall when we bought Rosemary, we bought her from a reputable cattle owner, a really nice lady that's actually a friend. We don't know them super well, but I felt very comfortable buying cows from them. They have a herd of Jerseys themselves, take really good care of them, and we just felt really good about it. But they did tell us up front that the reason they were selling her is because she had lost her calf. She was not a first-time heifer or anything like that. She had had calves before, but they just went out and she had had her calf during the night and it was dead. So she came here with no calf. We've milked her and taken care of her and all the things with no calf. That requires milking her 7 days a week. She actually took other calves, so that alleviated that. We didn't have to milk her every single day as we went along. But we AI'd her a month or two after we had her. She took on the very first attempt. That was really, really great. And so she's had a really easy pregnancy. We only ever had to AI her the one time. We knew exactly what day she should be due. Now with AIing, that can vary by a week, 2 weeks, but we had a really good idea, and we were watching her very close. So we watched her, time went by, 5 days went by, and she still had not calved. And we went to town, basically 45 minutes away, looked at her before we left, came back, and we came out in the dark and found her back there. She had had her calf, all was good. The calf looked healthy, big and strong, beautiful little heifer, all was great. Several days goes by, and all of a sudden, just bam, the calf's eyes turn white and cloudy. The calf gets very lethargic and sick, and turns out the calf had septicemia. It had gone septic. So then begins the journey of trying to figure out why. Did it get something in the womb? Did she get an infection in her placenta that passed it to the calf? That's the suspicion here. Or did it get, they can get their, where their like navel cord is, that can get infected and bacteria can get in that way. I looked at that, pressed around on it. It seemed fine. It wasn't hot. It wasn't swollen. Looked normal. I really don't think that's the case. The vet didn't think that was the case. So anyway, then begins the hard journey. At that point, just bam, all of a sudden, it couldn't nurse, but y'all, it couldn't even stand. It was just bam, so sick, so fast. And if you've ever known a person that went septic, that's how it happens. They just go down very, very quickly, and you have to act fast. So we started tube feeding, basically forcing a tube down its throat and putting her milk into its stomach. We tried other cows' milk. We did everything we could. It was doing good with digestion. That wasn't the problem. So it wasn't like it went down from scours or anything like that, but it just was so weak it could barely stand. It couldn't see. So we were in contact with the vet the whole time. We got eye drops. We were doing those every 2 hours. This was so labor intensive, but I was willing to do anything to try to save this calf because it was so pitiful and it was so cute. And just anytime we have an animal born, I want to do everything in my power to take care of them. They're dependent on us. It looked like everything was going well. We were also giving it injectable medicine. I should add that in every day. Twice a day actually, and this was all per the vet's instructions. So I'm no vet, so I'm not giving you medical advice, but we were just doing what they asked us to do, and it seemed to be working. And then just one day it started going downhill and it passed away, and it was tough, and I was here by myself, and I just sat that evening in the living room and cried. Then a day or two goes by, and we've also medicated Rosemary at this point because she just had one day after all this started where she wasn't acting herself. She wouldn't eat, and so we just knew we needed to act or something could be wrong with her. Medicated her. She was fine, back to eating the next day, and we were taking her temperature, no fever, anything, so we felt like, okay, she's okay. Then this calf dies, and then we notice she has got, and this is, I'm sorry, I'm going to say something graphic here if you want to turn the video off now, but she had some sort of, it looked like bloody, poopy discharge. We didn't even know which place it was coming from, if you will. Turns out we wound up watching, and I gloved up and went in basically, and it was coming from her cervix. It did not smell, so it was not some big active infection, but she did have something going on. We had also given her something during this whole ordeal to open her cervix back up in case she had retained her placenta, so she could go ahead and shed that, because they'll close up really tightly pretty quickly, and then whatever's in there is in there. So we had done that. And so when we saw this discharge, we called the vet again, and they're like, bring her. So we went up there. That's the beginning of the video. They did a complete blood count. That was normal. There were a couple of protein markers or something elevated, but they said it didn't indicate like a bad infection that was taking over her whole body like it did the calves or anything. And we were on the right track basically. So got her taken care of. Now we wait. She also has mastitis. I'm treating that every day. Once I'm done treating that, I'll need to wait a certain amount of time before she can ever go into the milk rotation. To be honest, we really don't have a clue what this blood work is going to show, but whatever it is, we're going to figure out how to deal with, because that's what we do here. We're just hoping it's not something super bad that's going to devastate our whole herd or something. So I'll keep you guys posted, whether it's this next video or the one after that. I'm not sure, but as soon as I get some results, and we'll go from there, because that's what we do. We keep on, we learn from it, we change if we can, or we just accept the fact that it was out of our control, whichever the case may be. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Oh, and God bless.